Okay, so it's been a busy week. I moved into my new place. As you can see, I've not really decorated or set much up in here yet. Technically, my bed is behind me, but and a lot of the other stuff is on the other side of the room. I only just got an internet connection tonight. Well, technically last night, but it wasn't working right, and it kind of died on me. Anyway, it's working great now. It's been very stable, so I decided to make my weekly vlog. It's actually been a week now. So what's been going on? I moved in, I brought one load down with my station wagon with my computer, my clothes, my bed, and basically just essentials. Because it's all I could really do. I was moving on a super tight budget. Technically I was using my car insurance payment to do it, but more on that later. I arrived late on Friday. I set up the bed. Sunday we had an extra bed here that they let me borrow, but it was not the best. Anyway, I'm glad to have my own bed now. But it had rained every day the previous week, so they hadn't been able to clean out this room the way they'd intended to. And then Saturday was prom night for one of the other people here, so that was, their priority on Saturday, and I really couldn't argue with that. But Sunday we finally set up my room, and everything was great. And we made a lot of space in here. Most people were pretty impressed, and they seemed actually happy to clean up the place and make room, because it's a room that they've basically just been using for storage and not getting much use from. Then I worked most of the week, 4 days, because today is Thursday, almost Friday, because it's almost midnight. But I worked 4 days this week, and I'm working tomorrow. I've made almost as much money in a week as I normally make in a month, so I'm overall very happy to have a full-time job. I will be paying taxes out of this. My other income I have to pay taxes out of at the end of the year. This, they take out the taxes as I go, which means I don't get a bill at the end of the year for taxes. Anyway, the I've not been fired yet, so I consider that an accomplishment. I've been half asleep on some of the days, adjusting my schedule to a morning afternoon work schedule instead of afternoon evening, possibly a little night, has been the biggest tribulation because it's just call center work, not really challenging, really. There's stuff to learn, but it's not overwhelming. And the trainer does a really good job of keeping the class from getting too stagnant. And I kind of like the activities. Sometimes they feel a little silly, but they do a really good job of reviewing the material and getting you to understand how to do exactly what the goal of the assignment is. Like, look stuff up in X document because it's useful. And the thing is set up to make it so that looking it up in that document is the best way to look it up. So it's very subtle but very clever. My computer is running a little better. I noticed once I got it here that the vent was covered in dust, so I dusted that off and it hasn't been messing up its date and time, so I think that's a symptom of overheating now. Other than that, the only big bad thing is that I've had a sore throat and congestion a lot recently. That could be part of the transition. It could be moving out to the country, because I'm out in the country now and there's plants everywhere. It could be, I don't know, mold, mildew, something outside. But I'm here now, and overall it's pretty pleasant. Sometimes it's the little things that make the biggest difference. Like when I went shopping, my friend made sure I had milk and cookies to eat, which is kind of really small, but they remembered that that's something I like, so I get to eat milk and cookies, and that makes me happy. But mostly I'm focused on work. Oh, and my car insurance. I said I would come back to that. I moved on my car insurance, but my dependable brother, George, paid me back for the medication that I bought for him a couple weeks ago, so I was even able to make my car insurance payments on time. I, even though it took forever for my tutoring check to get all the way out here. But mostly life is good. Everything is going smoothly, finally. It's been a big, crazy week because I've had a lot of hiccups, but overall it's good out here. I'm going home for another carload this weekend, and hopefully my mother won't shoot me while I'm there. I exaggerate a little bit. I don't really think she'd hurt me.